Welcome back to Learn English by 24/7 Stories. Today we bring you an inspiring story titled The Old Painter and the Broken Wall. This story will help you learn new English words, simple expressions, and most importantly, a powerful life lesson about turning your weaknesses into strengths. So sit back, relax, and let this motivational English story guide you to a new way of thinking. Oliver Grayson was a quiet and thoughtful boy who lived at the end of Willow Street, a calm neighborhood where nothing exciting ever really happened. The houses were old, the gardens were small, and the people lived simple lives. What bothered Oliver the most was the huge wall behind his house. It was dull, gray, cracked, and made the entire backyard look sad. Oliver often sat near that wall, doing his homework or reading. Every time his eyes fell on the cracks, he felt annoyed. The wall seemed like a reminder of everything that was imperfect in his life, his average grades, his lack of confidence, and his fear of speaking in class. One Saturday morning, when the sunlight was gentle and the wind cool, Oliver heard a knock at the neighbor's gate. The person knocking was an old man, thin, tall, with silver hair tied loosely at the back. He wore a paint-stained apron and carried a box full of brushes. His name was Mr. Alden, the town's most experienced and respected painter. Everyone knew him. Some said he had painted more sunsets than he had seen. Others said that he could look at a blank wall and see a full story hidden inside it. Oliver hesitated for a moment, then walked toward him. "Sir," he said softly, I need help with something." Mr. Alden looked down with gentle eyes. "Help with what, young man?" "My wall," Oliver said, pointing toward his backyard. "It's cracked and ugly. My mother says we cannot afford to repair it. Could you, maybe paint over the cracks? Make it look new?" The old painter didn't answer immediately. He slowly took off his glasses, cleaned them with the edge of his shirt, and looked carefully at the wall from a distance. "I can paint it," Mr. Alden finally said. "But before I start, I need to ask you something." Oliver nodded. "Do you want the wall to disappear," the painter said softly, "or do you want it to tell a story?" Oliver frowned. "A story? But it's just a broken wall." A mysterious smile touched the old man's lips. "Every crack," he whispered, "is a line waiting to be filled with meaning." Without explaining anything more, Mr. Alden opened his wooden paint box. Inside were dozens of brushes, thin, thick, angled, smooth, and bottles of colors that looked brighter than the sky itself. Oliver watched in silence. The painter dipped his brush gently, walked to the wall, and traced one of the cracks, a long zigzag line running across the center. Instead of hiding it, he highlighted it with dark brown paint. Oliver's eyes widened. "Sir, why are you making the crack darker? Won't it look worse?" Mr. Alden chuckled. "Let's see," he replied simply. Then he began adding more lines, curves, loops, and small shapes, connecting them to the crack. Soon, the wall started to look different. The crack that once looked like a flaw now looked like the outline of a tree branch. Then another branch. Then a cluster of leaves. Oliver stepped closer. "You're turning the crack into a tree?" "Exactly," Mr. Alden said. "A broken line can become a branch. A flaw can become a flower. A problem can become a possibility." "But how?" Oliver asked, genuinely confused. The painter stepped back and let the sunlight fall on the half-painted wall. "Life is full of cracks," he said. "Failures, fears, mistakes, insecurities. You can either hide them, or you can transform them." Oliver thought about his own fears, his fear of speaking in class, his fear of disappointing his parents, his fear of not being good enough. Each fear felt like a crack inside him, something he always wanted to hide. Mr. Alden, pointing at the wall, continued, "If you hide your cracks, you lose your story. If you accept them, you grow." Oliver felt something shift inside him. He watched as the old painter continued working. The second crack became a river. The third crack turned into a mountain. Small fractures near the bottom transformed into flowers. It was magical. Every imperfection became a part of a bigger picture. Hours passed. Oliver brought the painter water, asked questions, and watched every stroke of the brush. For the first time in many months, he felt excited. Around noon, Mr. Alden paused and stretched his tired back. "I think that is enough for today," he said. Oliver looked at the wall. It wasn't finished, but it was no longer dull. It had the beginnings of a beautiful mural, full of life and color. "Sir," Oliver whispered, "I never knew cracks could be beautiful." "That," the painter said warmly, "is the first step to seeing the world differently." Oliver looked at him curiously. "And the second step?" Mr. Alden smiled. "To see yourself differently." Oliver felt something warm inside his chest, a feeling he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. The old painter packed his brushes and said, "Tomorrow, we complete the mural. And tomorrow, you will help me." "Me?" Oliver asked in surprise. "Yes. If you want your wall to tell a story, you must become a part of it." Oliver nodded slowly. I would love that." As the old man walked away, Oliver stood still, staring at the half-painted mural. For the first time, his backyard didn't feel sad. It felt like a beginning. A beginning of a story. A beginning of change. A beginning of a new way of seeing the world, and himself. The next morning arrived with a soft, golden sunrise. Oliver woke up earlier than usual, excitement buzzing in his chest like a small bird trying to fly. He rushed through breakfast, ignoring his mother's surprised look, and ran straight into the backyard. He stood there, admiring the half-painted mural. The cracks had transformed into branches, mountains, rivers, and flowers. It looked incomplete, but beautiful, like a dream waiting to be finished. A few minutes later, he heard slow footsteps. Mr. Alden entered through the side gate, carrying his wooden paint box with the same calm smile. "Good morning, young artist," he said. Oliver blushed. "Me? Artist? No, sir, I can't paint well." Mr. Alden opened his paint box slowly. "Who told you that you can't?" Oliver shrugged. "I don't know. I just feel it." The old man selected a thin brush and handed it to him. "Well, today we will change how you feel." Oliver looked uncertain, holding the brush like it was a delicate piece of glass. Mr. Alden set his paints on a small stool and began mixing colors with gentle precision. "Every fear," he said, "begins with a lie you tell yourself." Oliver swallowed. "Like what?" "Like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. People will laugh at me." Those lies create cracks inside you, deeper than the ones on this wall. Oliver stared at the brush in his hand. His fingers trembled slightly. What if I ruin the painting?" he whispered. Mr. Alden walked to him and placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Then we paint again. Fear disappears the moment you accept mistakes as part of the process." Something about those words made Oliver breathe easier. "Come," the painter said, guiding him toward the wall. "Let's start with something simple." He dipped Oliver's brush into a small bowl of blue paint and pointed toward a curve that extended from the mountain. "This is going to become a river. You will paint the waterline." Oliver inhaled deeply and touched the brush to the wall. The first stroke was shaky. The second was uneven. Oliver felt embarrassment rising in his throat. "I told you, I can't." Mr. Alden raised his hand gently. "Do not stop. Rivers don't flow straight. They twist. They turn. They wobble. And that's what makes them alive." Oliver blinked. He made another stroke. This one smoother. Then another. And another. Soon he found a rhythm. The river began taking shape, alive, flowing, and beautifully imperfect. A small smile appeared on his lips. "That's it," Mr. Alden said proudly. Do you see now? Sometimes the first step isn't perfect. But it is necessary. Oliver nodded. He felt lighter. For the next hour, they worked together. Mr. Alden painted a large tree on the left side of the wall, shaping its branches around the cracks as if they were meant to be there from the beginning. Oliver filled the leaves with shades of green, light, dark, and even yellowish spots where sunlight touched them. The backyard slowly transformed into a world of colors. At one point, the wind blew lightly, carrying the scent of blooming jasmine. Oliver felt peaceful, a rare feeling. He looked at the old painter and asked, "Sir, why do you paint like this? Turning broken things into beautiful things?" Mr. Alden paused for a moment. His face softened. "Because once," he said quietly, "someone did the same for me." Oliver's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" The old painter dipped his brush in black paint and began outlining a bird. "When I was your age, I felt broken too. I lost my father early. I failed nearly every exam. And the kids in school laughed at me because I always got things wrong." Oliver listened closely. "One day, my art teacher found me sitting alone beside a broken wall behind the school. She gave me a brush and said, 'Paint the wall. Paint your pain. Paint your fears. And you will see that nothing in life stays broken forever.'" "And did it help?" Oliver asked. Mr. Alden smiled gently. "That wall became my beginning. My first lesson. My new vision. From that day, I stopped hiding my cracks and started using them." Oliver felt a warm breeze hit his face. He understood something. This wasn't just about the wall. It was about him. They continued painting until noon. When the sun was high in the sky, the mural looked almost complete. It had trees, mountains, rivers, flowers, and birds, all emerging from cracks. Oliver stepped back and admired the masterpiece. "It's beautiful," he whispered. Mr. Alden nodded. "And so are you, Oliver." Oliver blinked in surprise. "Me?" "Yes," the painter said. "You don't see it yet. But someday you will." Before Oliver could respond, his mother came outside to call him for lunch. She gasped when she saw the mural. "Oh my goodness. Oliver, did you do all this?" Oliver looked shyly at the painter. "We both did." His mother's eyes softened with pride. After she left, Oliver turned back to the old painter. "Sir, I want to learn more. Painting, I mean. And, maybe learn to see myself differently. Like you said yesterday." Mr. Alden touched the brushes gently. "Then come tomorrow. We will do something important." "What?" Oliver asked. "We will add a sky," he said. Oliver smiled, but then caught the seriousness in the old man's eyes. "Why is the sky important?" "Because," Mr. Alden whispered, "it shows how high you can go if you stop believing you are broken." Oliver felt goosebumps on his arms. His heart felt full. The wall was no longer just a wall. It had become a mirror. A mirror that showed who he could be. And tomorrow, he would paint the sky. Oliver woke up early the next morning, even before his alarm. Something inside him felt new, lighter, braver, almost like the beginning of a fresh story. When he looked in the mirror, he didn't just see a shy boy who avoided raising his hand in class. He saw someone who could paint rivers, leaves, and branches. Someone who could learn. Someone who could grow. He quickly dressed, grabbed a slice of toast, and hurried to the backyard. The mural looked even more breathtaking under the soft morning light. Each color seemed awake, every line alive. But the top half of the wall looked empty, waiting. A few minutes later, Mr. Alden arrived, carrying not his usual wooden box, but a larger canvas folder. "Good morning, Skymaker," the painter said with a warm smile. Oliver blushed. "Skymaker? That sounds too big for me." Mr. Alden raised an eyebrow. A sky is just a big space waiting for color. And you have color inside you. He opened the canvas folder. Inside were dozens of beautiful sky shades, blues, purples, peach, sunrise orange, golden yellow. Today, Mr. Alden said, you will choose the sky. Oliver stared at the paints as if staring at hundreds of possibilities. Finally, he said, I want the sky to look hopeful. The old painter chuckled softly. Then choose the color that feels like hope to you. Oliver closed his eyes and ran his fingers across the bottles without looking. His hand stopped on a soft, warm shade of sky blue. This one, he said. Perfect, Mr. Alden replied. Now let's begin. He took out a wide brush, unlike the smaller ones Oliver used before. It looked heavy, almost too big for a boy's hand. Oliver hesitated. I might mess it up. Mr. Alden placed the wide brush gently in his hand. If you mess up, he said, we paint again. The sky is big. It forgives. Oliver breathed slowly and dipped the brush into the blue paint. He lifted it toward the top of the wall and made the first stroke. It was uneven. A little too dark. Oliver frowned. It looks wrong. No, the painter interrupted kindly. It looks real. Skies are never perfectly even. They have moods, just like people. Oliver tried again, this time spreading the color naturally, letting the brush glide. The sky began forming, soft, smooth, and full of gentle shades. Slowly, Oliver's strokes became confident. He blended lighter blue on the right, adding a touch of peach near the horizon where the mountains met the sky. The mural looked like a window into another world. You're doing well, Mr. Alden said, admiring the young boy's work. Oliver paused. Sir, do you think I can really change? I mean, not just the wall, but myself. The painter looked at him deeply. Oliver, he said, the moment you stop believing you are broken, you already begin to change. Oliver felt something shift, like a door opening inside him. After an hour, the sky was nearly complete. Mr. Alden picked up a thin brush and white paint. One last touch, he said. He dipped the brush and added soft white strokes, forming small clouds. Your turn, he said. Oliver added a few clouds of his own. Some were round, some long, some clumsy. He laughed. These look like cotton balls. Clouds don't need to be perfect, Mr. Alden said. They just need to be present. When they finished, the entire mural looked breathtaking, a living scene born from cracks. A giant tree, a river, mountains, flowers, birds, sunlight, and now a glowing sky. Oliver stepped back and felt a warm wave of pride. It's beautiful, he whispered. Mr. Alden, with tired but sparkling eyes, said, Do you see the wall now? Oliver nodded slowly. It's not broken anymore. The old painter smiled. And neither are you. The words hit Oliver gently but deeply. He felt his throat tighten with emotion. All his fears, all his doubts, they felt smaller, lighter. He looked at the painter gratefully. Sir, thank you. You didn't just fix the wall. You fixed me. Mr. Alden chuckled softly. No, Oliver. I didn't fix you. I only showed you what you already had. There was a long moment of peaceful silence. Finally, Oliver asked, Sir, will you teach me more? Not just painting, but how to see life like this. Mr. Alden placed a hand on his shoulder. I will teach you the most important rule. The rest, life will teach you. What rule? Oliver asked. Never hide your cracks. Use them. Because the world needs your story, not your perfection. Oliver smiled, a wide, confident smile unlike any he had before. Suddenly, Oliver's mother stepped out into the backyard. She froze when she saw the completed mural, her hand rising to her mouth in shock. This is incredible, she said. She looked at Oliver with disbelief. You helped make this? Oliver nodded proudly. Yes. And tomorrow, I want to paint more. His mother hugged him tightly. Mr. Alden watched them with gentle eyes, his heart warmed. Before leaving, he whispered to Oliver, your sky is ready now. Go fill it with your dreams. Oliver nodded. He felt ready. Ready to learn. Ready to grow. Ready to speak in class. Ready to try new things. Ready to fail and try again. Ready to rewrite his story, one brushstroke at a time. The cracked wall that once made him sad had become the mural that changed his life. And the boy who once felt broken had learned to fly under his own sky. Moral of the story. Your cracks don't make you weak. They make you unique. Don't hide your imperfections, transform them. If you change the way you see yourself, your whole world changes. Thank you for watching. We hope this motivational English story inspired you to believe in your own strengths. Today you learned new words like imperfect, transform, confidence, and perspective, and new sentences like every crack tells a story, and you can rewrite your life. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Keep learning, keep growing.